Hello, I'm Adam, and today I will take a look into a CWWK miniPC after 7 months of continuous use. At the beginning, I'm very happy with final localization for this. It's behind my TV. And next to CWWK, I've got the ONT, which is, let's say, transferring a fiber network to Ethernet cable form. And this is my this goes to my first port, the WAN port, and the LAN port goes to the Ubiquiti L3. It's USW Enterprise PoE switch. It's 2.5 gigabyte switch. Let's look from top, and it goes to Ubiquiti Flex Mini. This is standard, very tiny PoE switch. Just gigabyte, but for like printers, TV, ampli tuner, and yeah, a lot of things, it's very enough and consumes about 2 watts energy, so that's great. Comparing to Ubiquiti L3 switch, which consumes 20 watts constantly, so it's a lot, to be honest. And yeah, that's how it looks. And 2 words about location, because as you can see, it's behind TV, and I must say Ubiquiti wall mounted is a bit cooler than it was lying just there, to be honest. Yeah, so previously I had those things where the ampli tuner sits, and overall temperature was pretty high. In the Ubiquiti it was over 70 degrees, and yeah, CWWK was overheating too. Let's start with the Proxmox, because that's what I'm natively running on this CWWK, and it's totally essential way to have it like this. But first let's take a look into summary, and let's see what about resources. And so 32 gigabytes of RAM. This is stable as rock, not as rock, but rock, as rock. I haven't had any issues with 32 gigabytes of memory, so that's great. And another thing is SSD. I've got there Samsung 980 Pro, which is working in PCIe 3.0, but what was important for me that TBW is 600, so it should live a lot, so I don't need to play into ZFS, pools, multiple drives, etc. I'm just having one SSD, which is power efficient in the low speed mode, let's name it, and yeah, I'm happy, and power consumption is like 8 watts in idle, so that's great. And I assigned 64 gigabytes for the Proxmox itself, and to be honest, it's enough, and yeah, it's fine. This size is for backups mainly, so yeah, it's fine. Let's check temperatures. As today now is very warm inside. Currently there is 27 degrees in my room, so yeah, with this fan I've got, let's say, cold board. I would recommend playing with fan curves to let this fan don't run all the time, and yeah, I will make and yeah, because it's not necessary. For example, there would be 40 degrees, that would be still fine. But one thing to note, I was thinking that if I install big heatsink on the CWWK, it could stay passively cooled. Unfortunately, when summer arrived, no way. It was getting I don't say it was getting too hot and overheating, etc., but I just didn't like it. A pretty hot spot in my room yeah, that's why I decided I want nice, let's say under 40 degrees Celsius, and yeah, that's great. Yeah. And okay, now let's move to the virtual machines or containers that I've got. First is the unifi controller. As you saw, I've got Ubiquiti and the U7 Pro access point. Well, rock solid. I've got 1.6 gigabit per second on my mobile, so that's crazy values, to be honest. And yeah, I pretty recommend that. And yeah, it's working. I've got feeling that I'm extracting everything from the internet that I've got. Yeah. Yeah, that's about unifi controller. It got created from the script, and it got 2 gigabytes of memory and yeah, 8 gigabyte of size. Nothing special. Generally, you can turn it off, and yeah, it will be still fine. But you know, updates or something, that's only why you could need that. The next thing that is like 2 weeks old is Jellyfin. Jellyfin is very similar to Plex. This is for streaming videos to your TV, and yeah, because as you watched previous videos, I've got home theater, and I need to have Dolby Atmos videos, which are stored on Blu-ray discs or 80 gigabytes of storage, one for one video, and yeah, that's a lot. So yeah, this is kind of a streaming service. Of course, everything locally, that's better comparing to Plex, and I recommend this over a Plex because yeah, as I said, everything is stored locally, and yeah, it plays pretty well Dolby Atmos. N100 processor keeps up with graphic acceleration. If we go to, yeah, we can see there is the graphic card from the host got forwarded to this container. Yeah, so everything works optimally, and yeah, I recommend that too. And yeah, next is the OPNsense. And yeah, it's not using 5 gigabytes, it's just allocated on the if we go to the page, we will see very lower values, but I don't want to go because there are a lot of IP addresses, etc. Oh, I don't need that to mask, but anyway, yeah, 6 gigabytes is very enough. I increased assigned CPUs from 2 to 3 because every packet needs to move through OPNsense, and I saw 130% core usage, so it was over 2. When I was downloading something very big, and I was transferring a file over internet to Jellyfin, and yeah, this is first place where I saw I'm utilizing too much cores on the N100. Yeah. And I've got pfSense in just a backup. I could even delete that now because anyway I've got backups in my backups tab. And why OPNsense instead of pfSense? OPNsense is open source from beginning. They didn't got sold. Removed something what they gave before. And that's why I just don't like pfSense. Those are very, very similar, basing on the same thing, to be honest. But yeah, slightly there are differing just setting orientation, and that's it. I would go for OPNsense, and that's it. And there is another my image for yeah, using the network provider router. in case if like my ONT got damaged, so I had to connect. Settings differ, and I just have now third virtual machine, and yeah, that's it. And on the last position we've got Home Assistant, which I think is pretty big now, because I've got like 80 Zigbee devices. I've got like I don't know, maybe 50 automatizations, and yeah, I would say it's pretty big, and sometimes I get problems because of size, I think. Some delays when turning on the light. Yeah, sometimes everything is dead. I have no idea why. Probably my Zigbee coordinator is, I don't know, maybe too weak for that, or my place is not efficient for that. But anyway, I've got Philips Hue bulbs which act as a routers, so that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know. Well, that's how the open source things are working or not working. And maybe let's go to my Home Assistant and see. Yeah, so generally I've got a lot of Philips Hue bulbs. I've got Bosch TRVs. Those are working flawlessly. And I've got flashed Xiaomi temperature sensors. Sometimes they hang. It happened only twice on 7 months. So yeah, I don't see a problem. Yeah, lights, wall switches. To be honest, if I would revert time, I could use different thing, because I feel like the problems with lights, some delay or something, are caused by those switches, and they were pain to install, and they were very expensive, and I had to software debounce the clicks, because the standard switch, yeah, is hardware switch, it bounces, yeah. Yeah, what next? Yeah, Bosch Alarm, I made a video about this. Blinds, regarding this module, well, it was working pretty good, but some time ago it got fixed, rewritten, and those now are working flawlessly, so no complaints. I've got blinds on those, and I've got 2 vents in my bathroom, so everything is okay. Yeah, button, that's no problem. Energy monitor, yeah, I made a video about this. Working great, and I can use energy tab, and or even I can go now, and now I can see how much energy I've got used in a day. I can sort it by weeks, and yeah, it's working very nicely, and it's very accurate. I mean, when I have to read the meter, there is a difference like 0.1 or even less the kilowatt hour, so that's great, and yeah, no words needed. There is a pro tip: how to update unifi, because it's not easy, unfortunately, and you cannot do this using website, or it was not working in my case. So you need to write update, but if you write it, there might be an error, because unifi 8.3 has changed its name in repository to 8.4, so you need to write the update slightly modified, and that's how it looks. apt get update and parameter allow relays info change, and after that we've got still a pop-up, and yeah, but now if I write upgrade, we can see there is following packages will be updated. Unifi, of course, yes, and now the unifi is updating to to version 8.4. What I could say more about the CWWK, I'm using the included power supply. I just was too lazy and didn't swap it for the manual, and it's still alive, and I'm using it in my UPS because when somehow you turned off the power or you reset the Home Assistant, you need like 3 minutes until your lights will work, so that's a very big downside of this. If I could change anything in a CWWK version, because let's go to CWWK, and if we sort, let's say by price, and let's see the N100. Yeah, there is one. If I could change, to be honest, I'm missing USB ports because in the first port I've got the Zigbee coordinator, and in the second I've got UPS connected, and that's it. 2 USB ports is barely enough. Inside, of course, you can have more ports, like 2 more ports, and you can buy for pretty cheap the adapters, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is a version of this miniPC $10 more expensive, and on this panel you will get 4 USB 2.0 ports. It will look ugly, but you will get ports, so take it in mind if you would need that. Yeah. Another thing, everything is too close, so you cannot insert a little bit wider pen drive into the USB port. I'm not talking about Zigbee coordinator, but whatever. And it hits the Ethernet plug or the HDMI. That's small downside which no one talks about. And the question is, if I would buy again the CWWK, I would go with this device or with another, like 4 ports, yeah, for example this one, or maybe, yeah, with 4 SSDs, the ZFS, or no, this one is not, this one is pretty new, yeah, or those with the, yeah, this one, it's like the flagship with the big heatsink. The question is no, because I will talk about this later. The answer is no, because each Ethernet port takes you a PCIe line, one line away. So if we've got there 4 Ethernet ports, our CPU has limited amount, I don't remember, 9, yeah, 9 PCIe lines. So in my case, I've got 2 ports, but the SSD I think has 4 ports, 4 lines, so it has full speed of the PCIe 3.0. Yeah, so that's much better than more ports, which you shouldn't use, because in this approach there is a WAN, there is a LAN, and nothing else, because in WAN there is a dirty internet and it should go only there, and second port is a LAN which got filtered by ad blocks and many other things, not, and this is your safe internet. You shouldn't have another LAN ports, because you won't need that, and you shouldn't do that, because LAN bridges, technically you can do a switch with those. One for the one, those can be LANs, but the switching is not a good idea for standard processor. We've got ASICs in switches for this approach, and you shouldn't do that. It's not optimal and it's wrong. That's how I would say that. And Okay, another thing is I've got the SFP port in my Ubiquiti switch, so technically instead of Ethernet cable I could use the DAC cable and connect the SFP ports, but unfortunately nowadays every approach that contains a SFP port is based on Intel 10 gigabit chipset, and those are like 15 years old or something, so the power consumption increases much. It's not worth it, and anyway I wouldn't need a 10 gigabit Ethernet, but just to you who are thinking about this. And in this case you are not able to use the two optical ports in one time at full speed. Together it will be like 16 gigabytes because of the limitations of the PCI Express. The SSD for sure will work in the PCIe 3x1, for example, because USB 3C, it's outside it looks too good for the N100 or N305. Okay, and another thing, another question I had before I bought it, and the question was, is N100 enough to handle 2 gigabit Ethernet or 2.5 gigabit Ethernet? The answer is yes, because if we go to hardware we can see I've got two bridges. And as you know, I've got two Ethernet ports, and there are two network bridges. One bridge is vmbr 0 and second vmbr 1. One bridge is LAN, second bridge is WAN, and those things are passed to the OPNsense, software, LAN and WAN. And be aware of that. If you've got any other virtual machine or something, you need to specify a network for this machine. And in this example, as you can see, it's bridge 0, so it's LAN network, everything is fine. But be aware of that, because you can connect any virtual machine to your WAN network, which I don't recommend. You've got firewall, you've got everything, and you want to use it. So that's it. And regarding the performance, and this is the trick, because I'm using bridges. I could just add a PCE device and select a specific lane, or let's say specific device, which will be Ethernet controller. There we go. I could go by this way, but this is wrong way, because when we are passing virtual bridges, those can be used by more cores than one. So it doesn't matter if you've got N100 and those cores are, let's say, weak, because those will work together. And that was my very first question when I was thinking, will it run 2 gigabit Ethernet? Yes, it will handle it. I've got 2.1 gigabits download and 600 megabytes upload, and it's working. And I can do a test. I will do a speed test now, and I will take a look into a whole Proxmox processor. I'm starting now, and we will see how's the CPU usage, in utilizing whole network. And it started. Yeah, as you can see, 70%, and I've got okay, let it finish, 2091 megabits per second. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Generally, I gave it 2 cores and it was fine with 2 cores. And I see now it's utilizing 3 cores. So, strange results, I would say, but anyway, that's enough. And yeah. So the question is, another question. I've got there 4 cores. How much is 4 cores now? Well, as you can see, this is a setup where I'm on 4 cores, and to be honest, everything is fine. I don't get any slowness because of that. I was doing stress test moving using WinSCP to Jellyfin, and I was downloading in same time, and everything kept up, and I would say that's like the limit. So if you are pushing like 2 gigabits on the network and doing other things, that would be the about maximum. And I just asked question, what will be if I would put a Minecraft server there? I think that will be limit too. If I will download something and there will be a server running, yeah, I think that might be the limit. But anyway, there is running pretty a lot of stuff, yeah, and yeah, so I think that's it for this video, because anyway it got pretty long. And yeah, in next video I will have something special with more cores. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and hit the subscribe button. Bye.